Hi, I'm Patty with StudioR12 Stencils, and today we're going to paint the January 2024 project of the month. So come on along and let's have some fun. All right, are you guys excited? This is such a cool project of the month. I am excited about it. There are stencils in here that I think are going to be treasured stencils, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So I'll pull this stuff out. And in it, we are going to have a bag with some stencils, and it has a little catalog to show you some ideas of how to use the things that we have in here. And then we have this really cool shape piece of wood, and we have a coupon. So every month you'll get a little coupon to use for an exclusive coupon to use on our website. That's StudioR12.com, which you know because you've got this project of the month. And then we don't release these pieces. They're made specifically for the project of the month, and we don't release them until 6 months later. So you have exclusive projects. Okay, so this is a really cool shape. And keep our coupon. And then cute little stickers. You know, I love the little stickers because I don't know, as adults, we don't get to live our childish fun. So I just love the little stickers. I think they're great. So you can use this in a couple of ways. This is a neat little piece. You can drill holes and hang it. You could put it wire it into a wreath. You could use it as a bathroom vanity kind of thing to hold perfumes, makeup, that kind of stuff. You know, so any kind of place. And then what I like the idea of, so if you turn it this way, you could put two handles on here and then glue a couple of feet on here, and now it can be a little tray. So there's just a lot of different ways that you can play with this. Like I said, that's those pieces. Now let's get out our stencils. This I'm excited about. Here's our little catalog. And that little glue dot that's on there just rubs right off. So if you don't like that on there, you can just rub it. And then inside, it gives you examples of how you can paint with the stencils, so that is so helpful. And then on the back, it has the 1, 2, 3s of stenciling, and as well a QR code that you can come get to our website easily. So every month, you'll have different stencils, different surfaces, different everything, and it will never be the same amount. Sometimes we paint on back and front, sometimes we don't. Just it's going to depend on what the project is. So a couple more. Cute little stencil, that little, oh, it's adorable. And look at it, it's a Nomi. Sanding is my cardio. How fun. I love it. Okay, so this comes with 7 including this one, so 7 stencils. It's a lot of stencils. And they're in a couple of different motifs. So one of them, super valuable, is an alphabet monogram lettering stencil, whichever way you want to call that, but it can be used for all of those things. This is a fantastic stencil to have in your collection because you never know when you're going to need to put the word love or peace or Merry Christmas or whatever. And we also have a lettering guide that's on the website, so you might want to check that out. Anyway, so that is super amazing. And then let's go back to these two. So these two are going to be our embellishments. These are little painted examples of our embellishments. And so these are 2 parts so that you can easily lay over the details on them. And that just makes it really easy. So these are, imagine being able to add greenery or flowers or little butterflies, roses to any of your projects. I mean, how cool is that going to be? So you're going to have these for the future, and that is going to be just a really blessed thing to have, I think. And then these guys are your florals and your butterflies. So these are, this is different greenery, and this is the flowers. Okay, so these are the different layers of your flowers, and then this one is welcome to our home. So we have 7 stencils, and I have chosen to paint this project in this brown scheme. It's brown and pink, and so let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to get this base coated. This is very smooth. Sometimes if you feel like you want a little bit more texture, you can use a 220 grit, give it just a little bit of sanding, and that'll give it a little bit of tooth. I don't really find that necessary, so I'm not going to. And because it's so hard, it's a very dense board. It's called hardboard. Because it's so hard, you really don't need to seal it either. So then we just base with a thin coat and do a couple of thin coats. Okay, so this is an example of one of these frames used on a board that it's not sized for. So this one is sized exactly for this, but you could easily put this on a board that it doesn't fit. So the frames are amazing, and you can use them to do the leaf and all of that kind of stuff. It just really adds so much class. Okay, so to do our frame, we're gonna line this up, and then I'm gonna give it 2 anchoring pieces of tape. Okay, and now let's talk about colors. So this palette right here is pinks and brown, so with a little bit of green, but pinks can be hard. So I've got 2 pinks in different values, darkness and lightness. And so I'm okay with this color, but in order to make these colors go together, I'm gonna need to pull in a mother color. I've been doing a lot of talking about mother colors, and that mother color is just like the DNA of your paint. So if I mix some of the other colors on my palette with each other, then the one color that I mix into every color makes it the mother color. So I'm gonna add some of my pink, pull it down here, and then I'm gonna add some of, that's equal just about. And this is doing 2 things for me. It is toning down my pinks, so pinks can be very electric. Maybe I want a little bit more pink. I want it to read pink, but I don't want it to scream Barbie. Okay, so then we pull a paper towel, wipe off our palette knife. This coral color is not quite pink, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig into my brown as a father color and mix that in. And then I think I mixed too much. I did. Let's scoop this away. So I'm just going to scoop that out of the way and then drag down. So what I needed was just a touch of the brown in there. Okay, and now I can go into my mother color and tone that down. And then sometimes you just need to play with it until you like it. But look at now, these 2 colors don't look anything like each other. And then these 2 colors look very much like each other. So I could drag just a little bit more coral in here. Pink it up just a little bit more. Okay. And then when we get to our green, well, I'm just going to do that now so we have them all pre-mixed. I'm going to do the same darn thing with the green. I'm going to pull, let's see, I'll pull some of the cream down and pick up some green, mix it in. Now I have a sister color. And then just give us a very light, this is going to be for our background greenery. Maybe a little bit more. The skinny palette knives are awesome for mixing. They're my favorite. But this is a better palette knife for picking up the different, picking up and moving paints. This one doesn't carry very much. And if I wanted to make sure that my green was in the family, I could take just a teeny bit of the cream and go up there to that green and just tone it just slightly with the mother color. So we're gonna use our ink sweeper. I love the ink sweeper, and actually this one has been abused. That is an old ink sweeper. You can see that this has not been cleaned very well. It's been allowed to dry, so if you don't take care of these, they don't last. But I've had some of these for the last 15 years. So they do last a very long time, but just every now and again you catch a convention one, or you lent it to a classmate and they used it but didn't sink it in the water. So you do need to take care. So I'm going to use the darker pink, and I'll blot off, always offload. And I love this ink sweeper because on these lines, it just goes straight across and it makes short work. I don't know about you, but I don't like to work hard to paint anyway. See how fast that goes, huh? And when your colors are all mixed, it just makes it really easy. If this is picking up, you could add another couple pieces of tape. Because it's a sponge, it's kind of suctioning to the stencil. and we're on the edge of the stencil so there's no weight. Okay, so then when we put it in our water, we're going to sink it with the back end of a brush to keep it submerged. And that is a trick that Carrie taught me. It's a great trick. Okay, and then we'll peel. How quick was that to do all that framing? Just fabulous. Ta-da! Like it's already looking like a finished project. Okay, so we are going to put a welcome, but we are going to have some roses. Okay. And so I just need to know how far down my roses come. So that's how much room I need for roses. And so then this is where my words are going to come. So it's always good to do a little dry fit. And then once again, we go back to our 2 pieces of tape. And we are in a cream color. And so we'll go cream, but I'm going to pick up just a little bit of the pink so it just borrows the family color. And we'll swirl. And you notice I did a dirty brush. So I just pick that color up, and it's going to be about the same. So because this is January, we decided that everybody was going to be sick of winter and sick of the doldrums, and so we decided to go ahead and go spring. So you'll have everything ready to decorate for spring right when spring gets there. And because they're stencils, it goes really quickly. Okay, so first base coat. Now everything is dry because I'm swirling. So notice I'm just a little bit darker, so I can just go here and pick up just a little bit more of my cream. If I was stippling, which would be laying down stronger color, I would probably have to mix a blotch of it and then use it from the blotch. But because I'm swirling, it blends and feathers everything. So the colors don't have to be exact. Because I'm going over brown, I'm probably going to have to do 3 coats. So ta-da! How fantastic is that? And then because we swirled, because we used the dome brush, these dome brushes are absolutely the answer to not bleeding under. Look how crisp those lines are. Okay, so we're going to get some roses. I'm leaning very heavily on this little project here. It's so nice. When you look at these, this one's got the daffodils. This one has little butterflies and little rosettes. This has the little birdhouse. This one has monogram. So I love that you can do all of these different examples. Like there's so many ways to use this. And this is the little bunny. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, so we put our roses on there. You can do them any way you want to. Let's talk about these roses for a second. So we have, for each of these, we have 3 different pieces for the different layers. And for the birdhouse, we have 3 different pieces and 3 for the bunny as well. You can use the bunny without or with. On the roses, the way that our designer has made this, it looks as if she's gone straight over the brown and let the brown be her background. But if you were on white, you wouldn't want white to be your shadow color. So what you do is you do a background color and then you put on your detail color. So you would use the big holes and then go to these, but I'm going to use it without using the big holes. And by the way, I love these butterflies. They're just so cute. And which way do I want it? I think I'll do that. Okay, and we'll see how this looks. Yay! Look how fun. Okay, and they do have little middles. so we can little middle them, and they're laid out in the same like angle, if you will. Just line them up. You don't worry about making them precise. I could just take this and go in each one, or use the little one. I could use the back of my brush, whichever way you want to go with that. But since they are perfectly lined up, I'll go and stipple me some little middles. Ta-da! Okay, I think I'm done with that one. So with your flowers, what you can do is you can lay them out once again, going straight over the brown to get our shadow, so I don't need a base coat, but if I did, I'd use these little holes. And I can lay these out to be however I want them. So we can totally just make a little cascade, a little flourish, and I'm going to add my greenery after. And then just a little piece down here. Perfect. I've got some pink down below too. Let's go ahead and address that right now while we're at it. And it seems to me she's got some etched lines on here so that you can actually go ahead and just lay it on, and then you see where the greenery goes. So if you're not a good like floral layer outer, then you can totally use what Elaine has made for us here. Okay, and then we'll go into our greens. Do you see how fast this is coming together? It's amazing. Okay, we'll use our darker green, and we're gonna do, I'm gonna flip that so it'll go in the direction I want it. And I am gonna mask just right there. Don't forget about multi-maskers. Cute. And mask here. Adorable. And then we can go in down here, get our masker. And then mask. Cute. You guys, this is a fun project. All the funs were had. So one of the things that I think is very, very helpful is I was able to, I have not painted with these. Carrie did the flower, the example. So this is my first, I've seen them, I've approved them. We've played with sizes and all of that stuff. So I've been through the design process, but I haven't actually taken them out and used them myself. So when I did these, I took them right out. I used the example. I was able to get this project all together in just minutes. And so that is what is so lovely about this little handout here. Is if you get stuck, you have something to look at and use as an example. Okay, and then we go over here. So I'm just masking out the flowers so it looks like the greenery goes behind the flowers. And you could lay out your greenery first, but I think it's just as easy to mask. So I need a couple of pieces of stem. This guy needs to be hanging on to something. I'm gonna flip him over this way. This guy, I think will anchor, so we're gonna go in the light green. And now this is neutralizing your brush. So I dipped a dirty green brush, my dark green brush, into my light paint, and then I wipe it off. And then that takes out a lot of that paint, and now I mix into the light, and that should be nice and light for me. So I'm gonna use this on these little bits of other greenery, just to make it look a little fuller. It just adds just a little bit of fullness. and I don't have to paint everything, so I can leave that one off and I can leave those off. I do need little stems down there. Yeah. Just some little fullness. And you know what I think we have here? I think we have a finished project. Like, I'm like, wait, what? Like, how amazing is that? That is so fun. So for finishing, what you can do is you can use some varnish, you can use wax, you could spatter, you could do so many different other things to this, but I really love the elegance and the simplicity of it, so I'm leaving it just like it is. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you in the next video.